All right, morning, everyone. Questions for Coach Traylor? Greg?
Jeff, how you doing?
We're good, Greg. How are y'all?
I'm doing all right. I guess to start off, any sort of immediate takeaways that jumped
Hey,
out
Kyle,
about?
I can't hardly hear him at all. It's very, very quiet. Hang on, Greg, one moment. Can you hear me okay, Greg?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if the other guys can hear me or not.
It's like volume issues. I don't think it's technical difficulties. There we go. It should be good now. Go ahead, Greg.
Do you hear me all right? This is,
Yeah,
is
we're
this
good.
better?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So I was going to say, to start off, just an overall, any kind of impressions from the immediate takeaways from today's practice, or anything that jumped out about how the group looked today?
Yeah, I thought it was our best day. The weather was perfect. And we weren't real physical on defense Saturday, so we really challenged our kids. It just so happens this week, the culture pillar is physical toughness. So it was the perfect storm. Our offense had been coached up. I'd make sure those guys knew the defense is going to probably have an edge today. So we had one-on-one, we had triangle toughness, we had team run, team pass, and we played ball as well. And there was a lot of physicality, and kids were great, taking care of each other. But we got a lot better today. I can't wait to watch the video. We were flying around like game day speed today.
I did not notice Frank Harris out there, at least in the portions that we were able to see. Is there any update that you can provide us on his status or what's going on with him?
He's fine. He's totally healthy. Refer to our COVID protocol website for more information.
Any other guys who have been impacted in that way, or is it kind of taking a toll on your roster? How are you doing with that overall health right now?
Yeah, there's been somebody missing from every practice. It is what it is. And contact tracing's that rule gets you now.
So one of the guys we're getting ready to talk to here in a minute is Tyler Monkey. I wanted to ask you a little bit about him before that. I know he played with a cast on his hand at times last year. It seemed like he was kind of in there and ready to help at a position where you needed it. What do you make of his season, or what do you take away from what he offered you?
He was huge last year because, we were just we didn't have very many linebackers, right? There was him. He got hurt early. Jamal and Trevor, who pretty much played all the reps. Avery played some, and DeMarco played some. But Tyler's a kid that we trust. He shows up every day. He knows his role. He understands what he's good at. He understands what he's bad at. And stuff he's not good at, he works at tirelessly. And it's our job as coaches to put kids in the best situations as possible for them to be successful. And Tyler's got enough skill set. There are things he does well that we can make him successful. He's also valuable on our special teams. So, and played through a lot of pain last year, and it was huge for us to get to a bowl game.
Do you feel like you're better set up with depth at the linebacker position to a point where you might not have to lean on a guy like that in the same way when he's going through an injury situation?
Yeah, for sure. That spot, O-line, D-line, safeties and receivers, we had to get some depth. Like, we had to go get some depth. And we're still in the process on the O-line and the receivers. But at that linebacker spot, we feel like we've addressed it, and we've got more help coming this summer. We have a couple more players coming in that are going to help us as well. So we had to address that. So it was scary. You can't play a season that you'd like to think those people at linebacker, if they're playing it correctly, are going to be the ones you need to take care of the most, because they're the most physical kids on the team.
Does that make a difference even just in a practice setting to have more guys you can rotate and more opportunities to kind of spread around when there's more linebackers in that room?
Yeah, our whole defense is just so much more deep than our offense is right now. We've really addressed our defense by bringing in 7 kids now. That just helped us. So the super seniors, you brought back, I think 6 super seniors on defense. All 5 of those were starters. And then you're bringing in 7 kids in the summer and the midterm. I'm sorry. That just helped us so much. We just got to now fix some depth issues on offense.
And DeMarco Guidry is another guy in that linebacker room. How have you kind of seen him progress, or what's the overview of him at this point in the year?
DeMarcos has always been off the field. It's never been on the field. He was the epitome of a list guy. I mean, he was on every list and was suspended for a lot of the season just for off-field issues. And, boy, you hate to brag on him because I don't want to jinx him, but I wouldn't have let him done this interview today if he hadn't been doing so much better. I mean, his off the field is just drastically improved, which has made him better on the field. He's been so much better on the field. And I brought him in yesterday and said, look, DeMarco, I hate to get on TV and brag on you because as soon as I do, you'll do something. But he has just been really, really good. I'm proud of him, but every day is a new day with my man DeMarco. So I love Big Frosty. I want him to make it, but he knows my yes is my yes, and he knows my no is my no, and I won't bend. As much as I love him, you can't enable him. You've got to hold him to a standard, and that hashtag 210 triangle of toughness is something that's who we are. It's our brand, and branding is when image and identity match. And we're not going to waver from that. He knows that.
Hey, JJ.
Jeff, on Tuesday you mentioned the physicality of the defense was a little lacking. How have they gotten better today?
Yeah, they were great today. They were fantastic. I knew they would be. Some of it's on coaching now. We're not scouting our offense, and we're adding a bunch of stuff, and we're playing a bunch of players. So it's not all on them. It's on they are a reflection of me. So that's on me as a head coach. We put in too much. Coach Left and Coach Wright know that. We backed off a little bit today. And we cleaned it up on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we really worked hard at the mental stuff. And then today we worked hard at being physical, and we did. I knew they would. There hasn't been a time yet where if there's something we emphasize, it didn't show up. When we emphasize something, our kids respond. And it's just, again, how fortunate I am to be their head coach. It's a blessing to coach these young men every day, and I'm just glad to coach them. I mean it. I love being here with them every day. I can't wait to be here. And there are very few teams in the country that just finished their 11th spring practice, and it was their best spring practice. That just shows you how much our kids love football, and we love coaching them.
Jeff, I wanted to switch gears a little to recruiting. Typically in the spring, recruiting's pretty heavy, but it's a dead period now. How have you guys been able to navigate that?
Well, we're going to be very patient. We're going to have a very small class to sign. I wouldn't expect us to probably be able to sign more than 15 kids. So, because I'm going to always say 4 or 5. So I'm not going to use them all ever. We're still holding, 3 in our pocket right now. So we're going to be patient. And we might not get off the roaring fast start like we did last year, but that's intentional because we think we're going to be able to have some type of evaluation. We're hoping. We'll know more from Dr. Compost and our administration here soon, what that's going to look like. Patience. Let's go slow. And because we need to bring in really, really good players. We are at a point now where there's a lot of interest in our program, so we can be a little more selective right now.
And when you talk evaluation, you're thinking maybe a summer camp or something like that?
I'm hoping. At the least, I would expect to be able to have evaluations unofficially, which will be huge. But we're hoping for camps as well. We need our city to get to know us. We need our high school kids to get to know us. And until you get coached by somebody, you really don't know someone. And until you really coach someone, you don't know them. So I hope we get to do that. But if not, we'll adapt, we'll improvise, we'll adjust, we'll overcome. We've been doing it now, seems like, since we've had the job.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank y'all, man. Have a good day.